It's the Skate Like You Podcast. In association with JG Hubs and hosted by Mark Vachon. We're talking life in and out of the rink with a new skater every week.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's Mark, Skate Like You Podcast, skatelikeyou.com. I am here with the one and only David Smith, also known as Smitty. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Excited to be back.
Yeah, dude. This is, number 2, right?
Yeah, we did one a few months back. We were doing it right before our Summer Jam event out there in Tennessee, and we touched base for a while and talked about that event a little bit. Now we get to bring back another one.
Yeah, man, because HeartBreak, right around the corner, February 20th, 21st. So, yeah, man, I want to kind of dig into this. If you could maybe give a little backstory and kind of when this thing got started, why, like how it got started. Yeah. What is the origin of HeartBreak?
Okay, so for those of you that don't know about jam skating competition history, jam skaters, right? A lot of us, the cypher skaters, like it's always kind of one of those one-up mentalities, right? They always want to go at each other a little bit, like even when we're just at a session, like there's this go back and forth energy. So it just naturally led to competition, right? Jam skating competition started all the way back in 2003. There were two different organizations that were running it for almost 10 years. There was UJSTA, which was United Jam Skating Teams of America, and there was WSA, which was World Skating Association, run by two different people, kind of similar things, but different ideas on how to do things. And that was kind of how it was for a long time. We had two different forms of competition to go to for a long time. UJSTA fell off the map. WSA kept going. The person who originally started WSA and organized WSA and did all the competitions and things, he ended up retiring, quote unquote, and kind of went to play roller derby and did his whole thing over in roller derby. And his name's Chuck Best, good mentor of mine. I learned a lot of stuff from him. So shout out Chuck Best. Once he handed it over, things kind of didn't go the way that we were used to, more or less. And so at that time, Vanilla was actually like coming onto the spot and trying to do events and kind of somewhat take over the scene a little bit. So they started doing events. So then we still had these two competing things, going at each other. So these different events that we would go to. And a couple of jam skaters that all the way back in 2012, they were two of my skaters, Josh Standridge and Dylan Pilgrim, right? They were, oh God, I want to say 15, 16 years old at the time. Like they were young. And they skated at this rink called Great Skate in Jefferson, Georgia. Beautiful rink. It's a cool rink. And they essentially taught classes there and kind of were building a little jam team at this rink and kind of building the jam culture at the rink. And they had come all the way up to a couple of the events that I was planning up here in Cincinnati and like really liked the little small local event thing that I was doing. And we started bringing people in, and they basically called me one day and were like, hey, we want to do our own competition. There was this other third party competition that lasted a while by Liza Foy called V-Day Comp. That was all we called it. And it was a fun little third party event that everybody got together for every year. And she decided that she was done throwing that event. Well, the year that she decided she was done throwing that event, these guys were close with her and they wanted to throw the event that kind of replaced V-Day Comp, right? So we had a rink, we had some skaters that wanted to do something. They called me because I knew I had organized some stuff up here in Cincinnati to kind of help them out. And then there was also Jimmy Sarasso with East Coast Roller Sports way back in 2012. He was local to the area and he knew these kids, and he was a skater as well, and he wanted to help out. So now we had a sponsor. So we had a sponsor, we had a rink, we had, this let's put something together and helped them out, put this together. I was one of the sponsors with Counterfeit way back when. And essentially I showed up the first year. I just kind of helped them plan it, and I was one of the sponsors, and I was actually one of the competitors. I was still competing back then. But it turned out a lot more people showed up than we had kind of planned. And it became kind of really popular really fast. And about halfway through the night, the wheels started to fall off the wagon, right? We had a lot of things planned, a lot of things logistically were not going according to plan.
Just because of the volume of people that you didn't anticipate? Is that?
Well, and the lack of experience of
Okay.
hosting an event. So I don't remember exactly how, but at some point the microphone ended up in my hand, and I started rallying the troops and organizing the circus. And by the end of the event, when we had kind of met, after the event, they were like, so next year, as long as you come back and do that for us, you won't have to pay a sponsorship fee. We'll give you your free table. You just come and you do the thing on the microphone.
You're the MC.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, cool. I can do this. I can help out. And so year 2 got even bigger. Ended up I had 20 skaters at the time. Vanilla had 20 something skaters at the time from all over the country. Rydell had a pretty good little team at that point. We were trying to push Rydell products. There was this big Rydell Vanilla rivalry going on in the field. And so Vanilla hopped on as a sponsor. Once he hopped on as a sponsor, he sent the whole team. We decided to organize this little exhibition battle called Skate Wars. And we essentially took all these great skaters from all these other teams and pinned them up in different categorized teams. We had like the Legends. That was the team I was on, the old guys that just been here for a minute. Right. And it was awesome, right? Event was huge. Okay, year 3. Let's see. So now we're into 2015. Yep. Okay. Year number 3. Event's gone great the last 2 years. Pumping it up even more. Ready to go. 2 months before the event, I get a call from the owners at Great Skate, and they said, "Hey, so we have some really bad news. The banks could pretty much come in and close our doors any day now. It could happen. It could not happen. We don't know when it's going to happen. The last thing we want to happen is for that to happen while the event is going on, right? So here's the deal. We don't want the event to die. We want you to have the event, but we can't give you any of the prize money that we promised everybody. We can't give you the rink that we've planned on for the last 2 years, but here is our recipe.
Okay.
Here's what we did. Here's what we made. Here's what you could charge. Here's what we did." Yeah. So when you find another rink, just, tell them this is what we've been doing and this works and blah, blah, blah.
Really? So, that's an easy thing. You know what I mean? You go to a rink.
Right.
No, trust me. It's all good. This works. The rink that's going out of business gave it to me.
Right. And at the same time, it's like, by the way, we're not just roller skating. There's going to be a bunch of kids in here flipping on their head and doing all kinds of crazy stuff all weekend. So it's not just like
insurance
roller skating.
Yeah.
Like we were not, it was not as easy 10, 15 years ago to sell a jam skating event as it is now. Okay. Like it was dangerous and people just didn't understand it, and we had some drama to us. It wasn't always an easy sell. But luckily we had super deep roots in Georgia. Most of my skaters were from Georgia. Like I've been to Georgia, I skate in Atlanta probably 2 to 3 times a year now. There was at one point I was probably there almost every other month. So I was tight with Georgia. This rink right down the street. Sorry if you can hear that.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. This rink right down the street. Essentially, we had thrown an event there a couple of years ago called Don't Hate Just Skate. And it was a cool little event, fun event that we just tried to organize, and it was kind of a one-off event. It went good, but we kind of never had another event there. So one of my skaters, Jesse Sardi, shout out to him, was super involved with what we had going on. He visited Spinnerz right down the street. So he visited, he kind of like called me and he's like, hey, you remember that rink that we did this little event? I was like, oh yeah, I completely forgot. Like that went well. Sure, go chat with him. He went down, met with him, kind of gave him our elevator pitch, and I got on the phone with Spinnerz and we locked it in. And basically, like as soon as I locked it in with them, that they were gonna kind of let me do my thing that weekend. We switched the flyer, notified everybody, like sent all this stuff out. Like we're just nervous because we moved it 20, 30 minutes down the road. Everybody was already planning for one place. Like we were just like, this isn't gonna, like, super nervous because now it's 100% on my plate. Now I've offered $3,000 in prize money that I hope comes through that door. Right? And that was kind of the cool thing about this event was it was started for skaters by skaters. So the whole idea behind it was if you were coming in, you paid to compete, that money went into the pot, and that pot is what ended up paying for majority of the prizes that went back to the skaters. You know what I mean?
Ante up.
Exactly. So even today, I still hold true to that. Like we give out a lot of free weekend passes and things, especially when it comes to like sponsors and affiliates and all that type of stuff. But anybody who wants to come in the building that is competing, even if you got a free weekend pass, you still got to pay the competition fee, because if you're putting in for the pot, then, or if you're going for the pot, then you got to put in the pot. That's all it comes down to. So it's been this, it was another thing that was important to me when I took it over was, at the time I was skating for Rydell. I was owning and operating Counterfeit. Vanilla was our biggest rival, but ideally, obviously, more sponsors, more things you can do. Like, I'm not trying to exclude anybody. The event was started as a safe space for everybody, like a place that everybody was invited, a place that is, kind of that third party where everybody who supports and wants to grow the skate community is welcome to come and be a part of this. You know what I mean? As long as you're going to come and contribute, everybody's welcome.
Wow.
And I wanted it to make sure that it didn't, turn into, a biased place or showing favoritism towards one company or brand or skate team. And so it was important to me to pull judges from a bunch of different teams, different companies, try and make sure that we invite a bunch of I invite people every year. We don't get a bunch of sponsors every year, but I send out emails and stuff, and it's good to finally get some of that back. And now we've got a whole lot of sponsors that are going to be in the building this year. It's going to be pretty awesome. We'll talk about that in a few. But yeah, so I didn't want to, because of my other affiliations, push other things out. So it was really difficult at first to get everybody to like kind of play ball with,
Yeah.
this is still a safe space. Like I know I'm running it, but and I know I have a team, and I know I have a bunch of skaters that are going to be skating in it, but like I'm trying to keep this as fair as possible. And we're just constantly looking for people and constantly trying to have people help us, but our pool is pretty small.
Mhm.
So it's hard to get people to not only, come all the way out to Georgia, once a year when we can't pay for all your expenses. B, just to get people to actually to commit to coming, so that I can schedule, so that I can promote, so that I can plan, so that I can do all these things. There's a lot of times that I don't even know who's really coming to the event until almost last minute. So it's really hard to get some of this organization together to make it happen every year, but somehow the magic all comes together, and some of the sickest skaters in the world all end up in the same room one weekend in Georgia. And it's it's one of my favorite things to just be at and be a part of. Part of me definitely still wishes I was out there and competing. But it's been a blast to watch some of these kids grow. I remember some of their first times competing, some of their first times being out there in the battle, and now seeing them, it's completely different skater mentality, like everything. So I feel like I've really gotten to see some of these kids grow up through seeing these events, and HeartBreak was a lot of people's first event. Like, that's kind of why I think HeartBreak became such a staple in the community, was because at the time, we did have a good amount of skaters, but we had a lot of really phenomenal skaters at the time as well. So all these people would travel to the event, but if there's only one battle going on or one competition going on, and it's like, well, I'm not going to win against Diamond and Tony and Smitty and all these other guys. So it's like, why am I even going to sign up? Right. So there wasn't this place for, um, everybody else to compete. And so HeartBreak was started with this idea of, we have, the elite category, but then we're also going to have a future category. And kind of the beginning definition of the future category was, you can't be sponsored, and you have never won or placed at a major skate event. Like, this is
Like
this is
it's the amateur, if it like,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
No,
And so that was kind of like just the first stipulation. And then ideally, if you won the future category, you weren't allowed to skate in it again. So now next year, you have to skate with the big dog.
right. Yeah. It's forcing you to evolve, forcing you to
Exactly.
advance. Yeah, man. And encouraging you to come in and get that ball rolling for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's like fantastic. You won the beginner category, but you can't come win the beginner category multiple years in a row.
Yeah.
Right. So
Don't be Matthew McConaughey and like Dazed and Confused. You know what I mean?
right. I only let you skate in that category so long. Right.
I get older, they stay the same age.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And that has eventually evolved and grown into, now we even have 15 or 16 and up future, and we have 15 and under future.
Okay.
And depending on our signups, I've had a couple of people message me. I've promised a couple of people. I have a couple of people that have written me with 11 and under. So if I have at least 4 skaters enter 11 years or younger, I will put them in their own little division.
There you go. There you go.
So as of right now, 16 and up, 15 and under. But if I have at least 4 people skate up or sign up that are 11 and under, I'll put them in their own little mini division. The boys and girls all skate together. The future division, they get a smaller performance area. They only get 90 seconds, but they get to choose their own music, do whatever they want. I'll sit there judged with our judges panel and everybody in the room, and the floor is yours. Like you really get, it's just your moment to shine. And it's a lot of places, or it's a lot of skaters' first experience, kind of dipping the toe in the pool of performing. You know?
Yeah, it's the concept of the 11 and under thing. If you have enough, is cool too, because I mean, there's a thing that happens for kids, man. Like after, like, you know, from 11 to 15, especially when jam skating and you get into power moves, your body, like there are strength differences in those few years, man, that are crazy. So yeah, if you have enough people to make that work, that's awesome.
And I
cool.
love, like, we always have a couple of them show up, and I usually do a little like kind of cipher thing at some point, and I bring them all out, and I just love seeing the little kids get out there and go at it. Like, I don't know, something just lights me up.
That's dope. You know, I think too, like for people that haven't been to Heartbreak or like kind of don't know about it, I think there are people that kind of like, oh wait, so like if I'm not competing, like then I'm just going to spectate. But like, but it's an event. Like there's
Right.
sessions. It's an actual skate event.
Yeah.
So, like people, I think that's something that, like, and not that you don't spread the word enough. I just mean people that are, you know, people constantly coming back into this culture and you know, and or getting started in it. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I think that like there could be like an assumption out there, especially if people aren't ingrained in that jam skate world, right? Like it's like no,
Right.
this isn't just you're not just, it's not a spectator sport. You come skate
Well,
for the
even on
weekend.
top of that, right, we've semi-evolved too, to where I don't necessarily classify ours. Yes, we are a jam skate roots, jam skate heavy, jam skate influence. Yes, yes, yes. But with the way that the skate world has evolved and with all the things that skaters are doing, like, I have tried so hard to get
Yeah.
us away from the stipulation of jam skater only.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, if you do dope stuff on 8 wheels, you should be in that building, because
Yep.
I have something planned that weekend that, like, you might not be in everything, but there is something that is going to be your thing. And so that's my one thing for this, the skaters to know, right? Like, you don't have to be a diehard jam skater to come, learn, skate, have fun, even compete, right? A performance is a performance. Like,
Mm.
you have skates on, period, point blank. Like, it I have posted all of my judges score sheets publicly in our other little forums. However, it's like there's not one thing on there that a roller skater cannot complete.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a jam skater. It's floor use. It's how your choreography goes with the music. It's how excited you get the crowd. Like, how is the room energy moving, right? Like, those things. So my point being, you do not have to be a jam skater or classify yourself as a jam skater to come, compete, have fun, learn, and just check it out. Like, I've tried to explain to people before what I'm putting together more of, like, yes, it's a competition, right? But it's a show
Yes.
in the end.
Yes.
It's in the end of the day, right? I've put together a program. I have curated a list and a performance of skaters for people to come see, come hype up, come get inspired, come learn from, like, all those things. Like, you're not going to see anything else like this in the country. Like, the only thing that comes close is Summer Jam in Tennessee. But I promise you, like, I don't know, something about the buzz in the room at a heartbreak. Once you get a taste of it, I promise you'll be back.
Well, there's a couple of things you said there, man. One is that you read my mail as far as, kind of labeling an event, or not labeling an event. Matter of fact, when I got together with Jackie Cosmano and, we did Skate Like No Breaks, like we talked about it. We said like, we're not going to use the term shuffle skate. You know what I'm saying? Like with intent, you know what I'm saying? And the fact is that we were able to rep everything in every style in the room, man, flawlessly. Do you know that there was not one like bit of drama, conflict, nothing, man, over like 500 people over two days, like I'm talking JB to jam, to shuffle, to freestyle, to whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, like, and the other thing that you just mentioned was about like this performance aspect, to what you're doing, right? Like putting on a show. And man, this has been coming up in conversations lately. I was just talking to Push about this.
Yeah.
Cause I think in jam, like especially that type of competition, I'm really glad to hear you say that that's what you're trying to build. Cause I think putting the emphasis there, I mean, look, in any competition, right? Especially a competition like this, I would guarantee, and I bet you would probably say the same thing. There are multiple factors that might separate, second place, third place, first place, whatever, right? I really, truly believe, I think we were commenting on Instagram about this the other day with Dawson, okay? It's when you learn all your tricks and you learn how to be on beat and all that stuff, right? But when you can now take that and make it a performance, an entertaining thing, like that is next level, man. That's, you know what I mean? So you putting that emphasis on there is just going to ingrain that thing into people's minds, right? Like I don't have to just beat this whoever's across from me. I gotta make this room pop. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like it sounds like that's what you're going for.
It totally is. And what I've tried to get people to understand and see, and I want, like, we have great attendance every year, but it could be bigger and better. And what I want people to realize is like more than the people who plan to compete should come to this event. Reason being, right? Like what we do at the highest level is always going to be more of a spectator sport than a participant sport. What I mean by that is there are millions of people who roller skate. There is a very small fraction of them that want to flip around, spin as fast as I can, flip on their head, do these front flip trick, like high end crazy stuff, right? But just like the Red Bull BC1 for breakdancing, right? It's one of the biggest breakdancing battles in the world now, and millions of people watch it from all over the world. Like there is zero difference between what they do and what we do, except we have skates on our feet. And they have millions of dollars behind their production. But
the people that are in those finals every year are performers. You know what I mean? Like as much for the judges as for the crowd. When I was talking to Kyle about this the other day, he was saying about how he talks to some jam skaters because he is amazed by what these cats can do. And he always
Push and I have had some good conversations. He's a good dude.
Yeah, well, he was saying like he's like, I would talk to Diamond Walker about this, because he's like, Diamond Walker's awesome at it because what he can do is he can like slow down enough for because like you just said, all these people that are there, they can't even comprehend what's happening, right? They can't.
So. Oh my God, I just listened to the podcast the other day, and when he was speaking about that, like we've spoken about something like that, but it clicked. I was like, yes, it's so funny. There's going to be so many talented skaters in the room, okay? However, the ones who know how to control, slow down, and have a dramatic pause, those are the skaters that are going to stand out.
Yeah. Well, when we were talking about it, the first drill team I was ever on when I was 11, this coach Butch, he's the one that said it. Actually, the way he explained it to me was really, really cool. Cause he was like, this was like still a time of like sitcom TV filmed in front of a live studio audience. He's like, the best shows, the funniest people in those shows. He's like, they allow for silence to let the crowd laugh, enjoy, and catch up with the joke. He's like, that's what you need to do. And so he used to tell me, he'd be like, because I would have a solo performance in this big team performance at some point, right? And I'm talking at the Armory. I'm like 11, you know what I mean? But he'd be like, you come out of a spin. He's like, don't just rush back to the line. Stop. Find somebody in the crowd. Look at them. Let them catch up. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, that made so much sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it resonates a lot. Yeah.
That's what I love seeing. I love when I see somebody like beyond just athletic, performative. You know what I mean? Like I think I said the other day, or watching Dawson's thing, is like that dude he fills an entire rink with stage presence. You know what I mean? Like 100%. That's that. Oh man, you got me all fired up.
Well, and that's the best part. Like I try to tell people, like, and one of my favorite things to do, and it's come from the history that I have in roller skating in general. But I love making a loud group of people all make similar noises at the same time. So like when you just get the crowd just live, like those moments that you're talking about, right? There's sometimes that you do something so intense that people's brains are trying to wrap their heads around it, that when you finally get to put that exclamation mark I tell everybody, you've got your set, you're doing your footwork, your groundwork, your power move, your freeze, whatever, right? That's a sentence. That is how you are talking to the audience. That is how you're talking to your opponent, right? And you always want to end your sentence with a period or an exclamation mark, never a question mark.
Yeah.
When you end your sentence, you want everybody to know in the room, like, oh. And because that moment, when you put that punctuation on the end of your sentence, that's the moment that the crowd just blows up.
Yeah, man.
Right?
They catch up. They comprehend all of a sudden.
Yes.
Other than that, you're listening to the Micro Machine dude talk. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so funny. Like big jam skate history, like we're huge on, especially like in a battle or whatnot, like to get that energy, everybody just clapping to the beat, right? And it cracks me up because like I'm kind of still one of the only like dinosaurs that I'll be doing that for everybody all weekend long. I'll be coming home with like bruised palms and stuff. But I know somebody is killing it, right? Because I mess up and clap off beat because my brain can't do it all like at one time. And I'm like, that was something special.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It kind of takes over for a second, So I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's what we're trying to create, is a place for these skaters that, like, yeah, parties are awesome. Like, and even like take away the competition aspect of it, right? Like there's no other place in the country, there's no other time in the country that there is somebody telling roller skaters, come and pay this very small fee to come and learn and get in community with all these other phenomenally crazy skaters. And by the way, I'm going to give you the floor for 3 minutes.
That's crazy. That's dope, dude.
Whatever song you want, whatever you want to do, like my 2 rules, as long as your music is not, it's got to be somewhat family friendly. Like I let people get crunk, but we just can't have super explicit, lyrics. And don't get naked on the floor. Like keep clothes on. it's pretty much my only two rules, because the whole idea there is I really want skaters to just come and think and be outside the box. Like, come
Yeah.
show me what you want to do,
Yeah,
you know?
man.
Like it excites me every year. I always have somebody come up to me before performances and go, "Hey, Smitty, so I'm gonna I'm gonna do this. Is
Is
that
that cool?
okay?" And I'm always like, "Yes, cannot wait for your performance."
Yeah.
Whoever that is, every year I'm like, I know to be watching. There was one year like Darian skated to Biggie Smalls, and at one point when it says a fight broke out, like he skates over and like literally acts like he almost fell into the squad, and the squad comes out on the floor and are acting out a street fight.
Right, right,
And
right.
then at that moment that the record screeches, they all fall down and he started hitting his footwork. Like, it's just, I don't care, people. Come entertain the world. That is what we are trying to do.
So there's one, well, there's a lot of things that Butch said to me, because every once in a while, like there'd be these are drill teams from New Hampshire. I grew up in New England and Massachusetts, and we'd have these little competitions, and Butch's whole thing was, you know, uh like, because he, like I said, he was always about that performance factor. That was always his thing, right? And he's like, do you know what judges are really judging on? He's like, we do this competition, that competition, that, you know, all of a sudden they have categories there, wherever, whether they even know it or not. However, however they're going to fill out whatever scorecard they have is going to be based on who entertained them the most. That's all there is
Yeah.
to it. So
Yep.
like that. So yeah, man, like you do that, and yeah. It's, I don't know.
Well, and to be honest, and not like talking down on my skills or anything like that, but like I've never, like I'm friends with some really, really, really phenomenal skaters, right? And yes, I've been a top tier skater for a long time now, but I've never, like, there's always been a few people that I can consider better
Yeah.
than me or whatever, right? But like, that was the reason that I placed at events. That was the reason that I got votes in battles, was because there was nobody on that floor that looked like they were having as much fun as me. There was nobody that was playing with the crowd, playing with their opponent, playing with the judges, like having a good time. I'm not worried about the competition, because the fact of the matter is, most of them I went into with the idea of so and so, so and so, and so and so is probably going to beat me. But you know what? After this is over, people are going to talk about my performance.
Hell, yeah, dude. I'm in people's mouths on the way. That sounded weird. On the ride home. You know what I'm saying? But no, like, what I was gonna say about that was, I don't remember now, but shit. Oh man.
My
No.
biggest
Oh
goal
no, no,
was,
no. It sounds corny, and I hate to sound all Tony Robbins, but I truly, truly believe, man, the no matter what business, the competition, whatever, the person that attacks it with the most enthusiasm is enthusiasm is the most underutilized thing and most
yeah.
easily forgotten thing in everything. You know, it's just, you know, yeah,
Well, and that was the beautiful part, right? So because I took a little bit of the pressure off, right? Like, and I paid attention to my strengths when it came to performance competitions, right? A couple of times I ended up on top because it surprised the hell out of me, just like it surprised the hell out of some other people. But that was the whole point of like, oh, I took the pressure off. Uh, Ready? One of my big things was every single year I wanted to skate to a song that nobody's ever heard. Like, that was like my little, I wanted every year for people to, at, at the very minimum, when it was over, because back in the day, you know, before we had all this instant live, blah, 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 we had message boards and posts and all these other things, right? So at the very least, I wanted people to write and say, hey, what was that song Smitty skated to?
yeah.
I was going to be a part of the conversation one way or another,
You
right? And
remember.
so it always came up with I always came up with some weird ones, but they ended up being bangers. And those little tiny things like is what set me apart from different people. Picking a song that nobody ever heard, using the floor in a way that people don't normally do, like you talked about with FSC with the crossing the floor and those types of
Mhm.
things. I found out when I started competing way back in the day that you actually got like 3 bonus points for skating in the opposite direction, and I was like, why does nobody do this?
Yeah.
Like everybody has the same start in the middle, go around this many laps, and then come back to the middle. Like why does nobody do so? Every performance, I did a lap, did something, went the other way. Free points. That's all it was. And at the same time, when you're sitting there watching 15, 20 performances, and all of a sudden somebody stops and turns around and goes the other way, your brain clicks back into gear, and you're like, "Oh, wait a minute, what's what's going on the floor?" Right? Like it breaks up that monotony. So this is a place to really come, be yourself, think outside the box, show the skate world who you are and what it is that you do and why you're dope.
Hmm.
Period.
Nice. So what else what else is happening? Like there's workshops and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll run down a little nutshell of what we got going on for the weekend. It's a lot. Okay. But hang with me. It's going to be great. All right. So first off, our weekend pass. That's for spectators, skaters, anybody just wants to be in the building. Okay. We've got something going on Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night. Right. So if you come in Friday and purchase a weekend pass, it's going to be $45, but that gets you into Friday night session, Saturday to spectate during the competitions, and get you into the Saturday night session. Okay. Friday night, we have session from 7 to midnight, but we're starting the weekend off with a dance skate workshop from Morgan Wesky from 5:30 to 7 at the rink. Okay. You have to buy tickets for her workshop separately on the dance skate website, but we're super excited to have her back this year. She's going to do a workshop on Friday and on Saturday, basically before everything gets started. So Friday night, 5:30 to 7, dance skate workshop with Morgan. Doors open at 7 o'clock. Everybody's going to come in, start checking in, making sure they're registered for the right events. All the competitors come in and they get a number to pin on themselves somewhere. I'll explain where that comes in just a moment.
Star
Um,
search mode.
Pretty much. So everybody comes in, gets their competitor number, gets signed up, checks in, says hi, gets all their stuff out the way, and we start getting underway probably right around 8:30. All right. The cool part here is Friday night is a session. It's a big skate party. Okay. There's no actual competition going on Friday night. However, Friday night is one big qualifier round for those that want to be in the big skate battle on Saturday night. So those numbers, okay, they came in, and I'm going to have a couple of different themed ciphers throughout the night. For example, I usually start the weekend off with a big slide cipher. So we clear the floor, and everybody gets a chance to haul ass around the floor and do their craziest slide, right? And that's kind of how we get things underway. We do a spin cipher. We do one of my favorite things called the hot floor cipher. So essentially, the cipher goes on for about 10 minutes. Everybody can come in. But if for any reason, any part of your body, I let the knees, for some reason, we've allowed knees. Any other part of body touches the floor, you're not allowed back in the cipher. You're disqualified. So it's just like a kid, the floor is hot lava. Same idea. Encouraging jam skaters, some of these ones who do just the power move stuff, to use your skates. Show the world that we can skate too. We're not just break dancers, right? So we have the hot floor cipher, a lot of fun. We usually have a lot of cool sound effects when people fall. So that'll be going down. Then we have the best trick cipher, which is where all the crazy big stuff
Yeah.
comes out, right? And it's just pretty much your craziest bag, pull it out and make sure you get noticed. So all these different ciphers that go on throughout the night, right? The skaters with their numbers on, they're trying to be in what we call the cipher assassin battle. All right.
Okay.
It's something that I cooked up over a couple of years. We've evolved to it. Essentially, when Heartbreak was going on there for a while, we had all these different category battles, and we had all these battles going on, cramming in all this stuff all weekend long. So I found a way to kind of hybridize them all into what we call the Cypher Assassin Battle. All right. So, skater's whole job on Friday night is to get noticed by one of my judges.
Right.
And you don't necessarily know who the judges are, but they're probably some of the better skaters in the room. Essentially, your whole job is to have a moment or two moments and get noticed,
Yeah.
get on the list, right? Because that's how that's your prelims for Saturday night, right? So Friday night, when Friday night session is over, all our people will get in the room, kind of go over our list, and we will come up with the skaters that qualify for the Cypher Assassin on Saturday night. All right. So to recap, Friday night, dance skate tickets, Morgan Wesky. You got to get those on our website. 7 o'clock session starts. Spectators, weekend pass, $45, gets you into everything all weekend. For the competitors, it's $75, but that gets you into everything all weekend, and you can sign up for any of the competitions that you want. That also gets you into the eligibility to win prize money back, right? So Friday night, basically 5:30 to midnight, we're in the rink getting down and dirty, right?
Yeah.
Friday night also is going to be hosted by DJ Mayhem. So we're going to have a huge shuffle focus on Friday night. So we've got the DJ Mayhem shuffle party going from 10 to 12, right? So I'm going to have all my ciphers and stuff out of the way by then. And then we're coming at it from 10 to 12 with Mayhem and DJ Jams coming up from Florida, bringing that shuffle madness all the way up to Carrollton. They're super excited. They've been fans of Heartbreak for a while. They're super excited to finally come and be a part of the action. So I'm excited to see what they have in store for y'all. Then we got to shut it down at midnight. We got to go home at some point, right? So everybody goes home and goes to sleep because they're responsible individuals, right? We're in bed, getting rest because we have competition tomorrow, because that's what we're doing, because we're responsible individuals, right? Friday night, over midnight, Saturday morning, we wake up bright and early. Everybody gets a big breakfast because that's what we're doing, because we're responsible individuals, right? We have competition today. Starting at 10:30 in the morning, we've got a dance skate workshop with Morgan Wesky for the intermediate advanced individuals. So Friday is going to be more of a beginner, intermediate class. Saturday is going to be intermediate advanced class, right? Still get those tickets from her on her website, danceskate.com. At noon, everybody's coming back in, checking in, making sure we're all good to go for the competition that day. And then we get started with my favorite part, the performances. Okay. Imagine Olympic artistic ice roller skating performances where the skater gets the whole rink to themselves, except the music is way cooler. The moves are way cooler. We don't have any rules. And by the way, they're on roller skates, right? Like it's just that same kind of package with all the restrictions taken away and all the fun added in, right? And right now, I know that I have a skater as young as 9 years old, and I have a skater as old as 57 years old. So we have all generations, all demographics, all skaters from around different places in the country coming and being represented. And you never know what you're going to get when these performances come, because it really is some of these people's only moment to really like go out there and be yourself, right? And the ones who can get over those jitters and nerves and really just own it, you'd be amazed. Like, you'd be amazed at what ends up coming out of some of these skaters. And so the future skaters get a smaller portion. They only get 90 seconds apiece. So it's more of like the cipher size. But then the elite skaters, which is my favorite part, get 3 minutes and they get the entire floor to themselves. The reason that's my favorite part, the beginning of our interview, I talked about WSA and UJSTA. One thing that they held very true to was their performance critique, right? It was a 3 minute performance. There needed to be shuffles. There needed to be these certain different criteria in there, right? And that was how we loosely based our performance criteria. We took a bunch of the restrictions off, but we kept back to that comfort zone. Well, little did we know when WSA and UJSTA stopped having events, well, now all of a sudden, for a number of years, HeartBreak was the only thing keeping that tradition and competition format alive. Nobody else was using it. National Jam Skating League is trying to come in and do some events, but they've only been around for a couple of years now. And so for a while, like, we were the only people kind of keeping this competition jam skating idea alive. So for me at this point, it's just, it's tradition. And yeah, it was a thing I look forward to every year, getting out there and doing it. And so I imagine that skaters all across the country have that same feeling that I used to have when I was 15, 16 years old. And so I like to try and foster that and harness that as much as possible and give them that space to still come and demonstrate, what it is that God gifted them for the world.
But not only that, but by keeping it kind of like, quote unquote, like open format mentality, and then drawing skaters from everywhere. Now I've got, like, if I'm in this thing, like, I have like this talent pool where I can kind of bite from and be inspired by, and for every regional different style, and you know what I mean? Like just if nothing else, come and get inspired, man. Come and, you know what I mean? Like that, because that's the stuff that fires me up, man. I love going and seeing something I haven't seen before, or something I have seen before done a way I haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many possibilities. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. That I've been like saying it over and over again. I'm so fired up for this.
And one of my favorite things is like, so I'm gonna use breakdancing as an example again, right? Like, breakdancers to me are some of the most amazing human beings on the planet, right? They push their bodies and minds to limits that we just don't even seem conceivable, right? And like, every year somebody does something that you're like, that is the crazy, like, humans were not made to do that. I don't know how that's possible. It can't get any crazier, right? Fast forward a year, somebody's doing something crazier than what you were referencing last year, right? And that to me is what HeartBreak is every year, right? I see these skaters online. I see them skating. I see them doing stuff, right? I see what they post. Every year, there's somebody that walks in that building that's going to do something that I've never seen or experienced before, even me paying attention to everybody. And like, that moment that I'm caught off guard, like, it always just sticks there in the brain. Like, you always see something that you're just like, I didn't think that was possible on roller skates.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And so I feel like we're the breakdancers of the roller skating world, trying to constantly press that bar of what is possible on roller skates.
Yeah. And because that's how it happens, right? It's like, because like you're saying, seeing something you hadn't seen before, but somebody else that's there is seeing something that they hadn't seen or didn't think was possible, but now you see it, right? And like, now it's like this tangible thing. And not only is it tangible, I can maybe go up a notch. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the iron sharpens iron thing, man.
You can watch videos all you want, but once you physically see it in front of you with your eyes,
yep,
there is something that your brain just picks up differently. Yep. So like, all these crazy videos and things that you've seen online, go check out the HeartBreak Skate Jam Instagram. There's a bunch of clips being posted by Dad on Skates. Shout out him. He does some great work. Um, it's so much different when you're in the building. Like when you are right there and it is happening in front of you and you are a part of the energy that's in that room, like those people are making those noises because that energy is what is feeding it.
Eating it. Yeah.
Like, right, like if you are in the building, I promise there will be at least 2 to 3 times you're gonna have to pick your jaw off the ground because you're just like, what just happened?
Hell
Right?
yeah,
Like, and so I live for that, those moments in our little skate world, and at the same time, like when you see some of these skaters hit that moment and stand up, oh my God, they come in and they are 10 feet tall. Like I can see the high that they are riding on. You know what I mean? And it fires you up because you're just like, I want to feel like that. What can I do to make that happen? You know?
I can't think of a better feeling, man, than something that is genuinely me and born of me and finding out that other people think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not about getting people's approval. It's just about people that I respect, right? Like seeing what peers.
Right. And this is like if you're the skater that has like gone slightly past crazy legs and wanting to learn some footwork, like this is our Comic-Con. Like if you want to learn how to, like, now that you've learned some skate moves, if you want to come see what it's like to learn who you are as a skater and not how you can fit into everybody else's skate box, like this is the event to come see, because I promise you will walk away from that weekend being like, okay, what makes me as a skater and how can I show that to the world?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's all I'm about. I mean, it's not Skate Like You for nothing. You know what I mean? Like
that's why I'm excited to have you down there this year, man. Like thank you for coming. So excited to have you in the building. I love your energy and what you've been doing with the podcast and just kind of giving the exposure to this skate world. Like I've been inspired to want to start one or do one and just sit here and ramble off skate stories because, dude, we could sit here and go all night. I've got stories for days about topics for years. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So thank you for coming down. I'm excited to see what you get from some of the kids and from some of the skaters and from the spectators. Like one thing that I think would be great for you to, like, when I heard you were coming down, like, I envision you putting together one of those reaction videos where you see all the skaters in the background, like, what? You know what I mean? Like, and then talking about, like, and giving the little interviews. Like, I don't know why that popped in my head, but there's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Well, I do. One thing I do want to mention to everybody too, like, so we just announced that JG Hubs is the official sponsor. So one of you cats that are going to be there, one of you lucky people, we're going to pick randomly. Okay. On night one, and you are going to be given a one-off fully custom. No one will ever have these wheels, like your own shit. Okay. We're going to give you a set of some of the best wheels in the industry today, by JG Hubs. And my only condition is you can't be camera shy, because you gotta work with me. You gotta work with me.
Come sit down with Mark. We're gonna have a little space set up for him, right? You come sit down with Mark, give him your 2 cents about HeartBreak, about the skate world, about what's going on. Like, just come sit down, say hi, introduce the people to who you are and what you're doing there. And just like that, you could be entered into a drawing for, well, how much do those wheels retail for? Because they're insane. They're basically like, the hot rod of skates. Like,
Yeah.
that's the best way I can explain it. Like,
yeah, pretty much. If like I just showed you a picture, you would think they were legit dubs. You know what I mean? Like that's just all there is to it, right? But I mean, the Jim is like Jim Garrett. When I tell you, so passionate, he pours everything he has into this thing. He tested the urethane for over a year and a half. Like, I mean, but here's the thing. But we're gonna pick one person, right, to get this one-off set. And I'm going to pick you on night one. You get to skate on those things all weekend. They're yours. All I ask is that at the end of the weekend, you come back and you get back on camera and tell me exactly what you think. Right, wrong, good or bad, don't care. Right, like
instant live actual product review.
Yeah.
Man.
But trust me, like the reason I'm cool with doing it like that is because I'm not worried about someone being like, having something negative to say. But yeah, man, like somebody,
that's cool.
Someone is gonna get real lucky, man. For real.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
I'm so stoked to be able to do
That's so stoked. Well, and the cool thing is, right, is so throwing this out there for him, right? There's probably a good amount of shufflers on his stuff, but I don't know how many like diehard high impact jam skaters are on his stuff, mainly because we're so hard on our stuff, right? We usually don't buy stuff that's that expensive if we don't know that it's not invincible. You know what I mean? It's a big risk for us. So I'm interested to see like who puts them to the test and like how they go. Like I'm interested.
I mean, and I'm not like, because Jim does he does the big 50s. He does, all that, and that's not me. Most people that I skate with, they like that 42 width. I like a 38. He cut my Super D's down. You know what I'm saying? And he's a ninja with it, dude. He's a samurai. He's a samurai. So like he can make it work. He'll make what you're looking for. I got 96s, man, on these Super D's. They're 38 wide, and I love them.
Yeah. I'm a slightly narrow wheel skater myself, so I feel you.
Yeah, man.
But that's exciting. Like, it's so dope. So like, well, and let's touch base on that a little bit. So you've got JG Hubs and Skate Like You coming down to HeartBreak, live product testing, getting reviews from customers, right? We have Morgan Wesky coming in, the world's leading skate choreographer, dancer person that's going out and teaching the world to roller skate. Love it. She's going to be there doing 2 different workshops, right? We have Vanilla, we have Bont, and we have Unique Skates are all going to be in the building, showing you new products, giving away new products, selling new products, whatever. So you get the chance to come see everybody's vendor tables, probably get some freebies and all that. We have Skate Babes Creations is going to be there. I'm sure she's going to have some awesome merch for you guys, right? Like, we just have so many people that are going to be in this building. We have Dad on Skates is going to do all of our filming. Morgan's going to be going live on Dance Skate all weekend. So if you can't be in the building, make sure you're tuning into Dance Skate because you're going to be able to see all crazy live act.
Morgan, you got to let Skate Like You in there, man, just so I can get a feature on that.
Oh, yeah. So there's going to be so much going on all weekend that I promise you by Sunday morning breakfast, you're probably ready to go home. And if not, usually they end up at Cascade on Sunday night. So.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Although if I'm still there Sunday, I've been promising Kojak I'd hit Smyrna on a Sunday for like.
Oh, there you go. That's not a bad one either.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
if he finds out I'm in that area and I didn't do, and I was around for that, I didn't. Shout out Kojak.
Yep, he'd be ready.
All right, man. Well, do you have anything else, man? Is there anything you want to make sure you mentioned or throw out there?
The biggest thing, guys, is this is an event for the skaters, by the skaters. We started in 2012. We've been going a long time now. We only had to skip 1 year. It's 2021. We actually had one 2020. 3 weeks after we got home, the world shut down. So we weren't able to have one in 2021, but we quickly got right back on it and picked back up. So I tell everybody it's the nation's longest running shuffle skate performance competition.
Well,
And
what I was thinking about when you were talking about all that is like, it feels like to me, like like in the 80s when skateboarding fell off and just these hardcore people that like just wanted to keep it alive, you know what I mean? They were doing it in their
yeah,
backyards, you know what I mean? Like, and kept it around long enough for it to catch momentum again and whatever. I mean, that's when as far as as far as this game, that's what it sounds like you guys did essentially.
yeah, that's what yeah. Yes, I've used that reference a couple of times because that's exactly what we did. We kept it alive because we were skaters who loved what we did, and we didn't want to see it go anywhere. And so I've had that pressure on me for the last 9 years now to keep this one going. And now, luckily, we have new people trying to come in and organize different stuff and keeping this legacy alive. But I get to at least say that this is my own little small piece, and it's it's a lot of fun, man. It really is. So I usually am stressed out like crazy, and I sound like DMX by the end of Saturday night. But if I'm the only person in the room that didn't have a good time, I did my job.
There you go.
So
Right on.
please come check it out and just be a part of the energy that we're creating. Like if you love being on eight wheels and doing cool stuff to cool music, this is the place for you.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, I don't have anything else. I don't have any other questions. Yeah, man, they said a lot in a pretty short amount of time, actually. So
It's a topic I know a couple of things about, you know. And yeah, again, just excited to have you in the building, dude. I promise when you walk away, you're gonna have plenty of stuff to talk about. Anybody that needs any information, we've got an event page on Facebook. Go check it out, HeartBreak Skate Jam. Go check us out on Instagram, HeartBreak Skate Jam. Look it up on YouTube if you want to see any of the stuff in the past. There's some crazy videos up there, and the history goes back. So yeah, come be a part of skate history.
hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Can't say it any better than that. Can't finish it up any better than that, man. I thank you very, very much for coming on, man.
Hey, I appreciate you for having me back. I'm sure we'll be doing this again one of these days.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
And
if not,
you know, I'm gonna sit down for an interview at HeartBreak. You know that.
yeah, dude. Let's go. All right, man. Well, I will see you in about a month.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you. Y'all, we'll see y'all at HeartBreak.
Thank you. Have a good one, man.